right, welcome back to another episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. It's the PR Petty group. We've got some PR Petty news. Actually, we're the petty ones because it's kind of hella late. But, you know, we run agencies and have clients and things like that. So we try to get you the news as soon as it pops, but sometimes we can't get to it. But regardless, being petty is evergreen. It's everlasting.
Hello.
So we're always going to have content to talk about. So bringing back my resident PR roundtable -1, we have Chandra Gore of Chandra Gore Consulting.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. Mr. Kiana. Kiana is at the casino right now with her stepmom, living her best life. So, you know,
some money, girl.
That's what I was about to say. I hope you're winning while you abandon us, but it's fine. After she bugged the hell out of us, when are we recording? When are we recording? When are we
Girl.
Well, we're recording. Where are you at the casino? Playing Buffalo, which is our favorite.
Buffalo?
The Buffalo game she introduced me to. So, and every time, you know, it's the slots, and every time it wins, it goes Buffalo.
Okay, yeah, I need to find that at the 4 casinos we got around here. Like,
that is her game. If she was here, she would die. So shout out to Kiana, probably on the Buffalo machine as we speak, and I'm normally at the Wonder Woman machine. So that's what we do at the WinStar in Oklahoma.
Is it Oklahoma?
Yeah, but the crazy thing is like people think that we have to drive from Dallas so far. It literally takes you like an hour, 15 minutes to get there. It's so close.
Oh, so that's like me going up Maryland Live. Okay, girl. Okay, so that gives me some idea how close Oklahoma is to where you are in Texas. Okay.
Yes.
Wait till I come visit. It's gonna be.
Yes, when you come visit. No, trust me, Kiana's gonna want to go to WinStar. We're both a part of that whole squad, so we probably have free hotel stays and everything. So we'll take real good care of you.
That works for me.
But if you guys are watching on YouTube, and you know what, now that I figured out how to do this Zoom thing, I'm going to start putting a lot of these videos on our social media as well. You will see that Chandra and I are embracing our inner like queendom. And This is our revised and modernized helmets of salvation, courtesy of Danae Jackson.
Yes, poor little tink tink.
Just kidding. But no, Chandra came on with hers, and I was like, oh my God, I got to go put mine on. I totally have one on.
Yes.
So, we're rocking these because we're going to need it today. We're going to need all the...
we didn't talk about that situation, though.
We didn't, but we'll get... There's so many situations to talk about. What are you sipping on?
Just a little bit of water. I want some Patron, but I got to be in my right mind.
We got lit the last time. I actually made a nice little healthy little green juice in my margarita cup, but whatever.
Lucky.
It's pineapple, cucumber, ginger, and some lemon, so it helps with inflammation and to make sure I'm flushing the tummy.
I need to make that. I need to get some fresh ginger, so.
It's so good. It's so good. So shout out to Life with Rosie on YouTube, who showed me how to make this little drink, and I've been making it for weeks now, and it's so good.
Okay, now I got to get me some ginger.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna get started, you guys. Tonight, we're talking about several things, but we're first gonna start off with sombering news because it was so crazy because you and we did the Lil Nas X kind of PR review, and we were talking about DMX, and then shortly thereafter, DMX falls ill and passes away. And it's so weird because we had just posted it on social media. We were singing all his songs, and you were like, I never growled and barked so much in my life.
Listen, Who We Be will forever be my theme song. But the thing is, he sang that part. Dunna, dunna, dunna. Listen, come on now. Rest in peace. He is up in heaven barking at everybody and being who he is.
Listen, when It's Dark and Hell is Hot came out, I was still playing ball. And like that, and that CD players were still a thing, Sony CD players. And so we would always take our CD players everywhere we went, and I had the CD, and that was like, I would go up in the stands away from the team and get ready for the game. And that was the CD I would play because it would just get me in this I'm gonna go out on the court and I'm gonna murder some bitches. Like that was my mindset. Like I'm gonna be throwing boom, 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 boom. So DMX was like what I listened to. So it was, I don't know, it was bittersweet. All that goes down, fast forward. They just had the memorial service, which I thought was excellently done from the moment the motorcade and all of the Rough Riders left wherever they left and went all the way to Barclays. I thought it was incredible. I tried to watch as much of it as I could, and I just thought that was an amazing send-off.
The monster truck.
Yes!
Can't nobody tell me that is how big he is. He united so many different types of people. You know what I'm saying? So there that right there.
Guys in that truck, there was black men that were riding. I mean, it was just like, it was insane. It was insane. And I watched it. Now I'm not gonna lie, I did say like, man, if I was on the New York Thruway, I'd be pissed. Because it was so many bike riders that they had to block off the Thruway for and wait for them all to go in their procession. And so I was like, look, if y'all didn't send me a text alert or something like, don't take the New York Thruway at such between these hours, I would have been pissed.
Like what did Akeem father said in Coming to America, let them wait. Period. Because we're gonna give him his flowers because that's what it let him wait. Catch the metro. I don't know what you need to do.
It was amazing. And I was so irritated. I wish I could find this video. It was like a Fox News, the one I could find that was streaming live from YouTube. And of course it was some corny commentator that just didn't have the swag to actually be commentating for like the procession, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so fast forward to the actual, I would say homegoing celebration. You know how we always, we recoin phrases. So it's a homegoing celebration. And when I tell you, I'm watching it and it's fantastic. Like I was like, man, take me back to church, the choir. Like I literally, at one point I had left the house, I was going to Barnes and Noble, and I just sat in the parking lot and watched the entire service. And I was interacting with folks on YouTube and I said, who is this choir? And when Swiss Beats came out and said, and thank you, Kanye, for pretty much organizing this entire thing, I was like, Kanye is a literal genius. Like, I don't care what he's done, how he's pissed you off, what you want to say about the Kim Kardashian situation. The man is gifted beyond measure. I think that he and DMX kind of operated like they understood one another. Right. And it just came across in that service and then the songs that he chose with the choir and the way the choir sang, I was just on a whole nother, like, I watched it the next day. Like I went back and watched all the sessions the next day because it was just that good.
And that's the beauty about, I'm gonna say, people may not like what I'm about to say about Kanye, but musically, he knows how to tap into the emotions of people using music. He is a musical genius. I don't care what anybody, listen, the other stuff that he's been dealing with, with them people and stuff, I feel like we're going to get Kanye, through the wire Kanye, college dropout Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Heartbreak 808. Like, let me tell you something. Those were...
You taught me.
Girl. That's what I want to hear from Kanye. The other stuff that he was putting out, I don't even know. Them clothes too. I'm just saying. I'm not into fashion.
Just to get by.
Yes, getting back to the good life with T. I ain't heard the T-Pain on a hook in so long. Can we get that back? Can we get that back?
It was so good. And I almost felt guilty because I was like, can I go to Tidal and they have this available for streaming later? Like, I was thinking
that would have been so good.
They needed a CD. Like, serious. The songs were just, the renditions and how he did it was so good.
They need to offer that
on a CD. I'd buy it.
But they need to offer that because people who may not be in the church but are saved adjacent, it would be a good way to lead. Like it tapped into that it tapped into that spiritual side. It gave you peace because one, we're mourning the loss of somebody that was so great, but then two, like that's some clean, you could actually rock out, like it moved you, you know what I'm saying? Like that's Saturday.
I was moved. Like I went and I was put in, you know, because it was live, so we were all in the comments, and I was like, who is the choir? And then when they did the Clark sisters, and he broke it down by the sopranos, you know, the sopranos always go first, then the altos, and then the tenors. So it just took me back. Like I got in all my feels because I just remember, you know, being in the choir and waiting as an alto for our turns. Like we gonna show these sopranos up.
Conway High School Gospel Choir. Listen, let me go ahead and say that I will always never forget my roots with Cabray doing listen. We used to sing them songs back in gospel choir at the high school, mind you, before we started giving out participation trophies and things. We had gospel choir in the high school. That's all I'm gonna say.
But it was so magical. So if y'all didn't catch it, please just Google, you know, Sunday service DMX Memorial Kanye West, whatever you got to do, and go watch that. It was extremely powerful, magical. I have it saved as my favorites, and I literally probably watched their rendition of the Clark sisters, You Brought Me Sunshine, like probably like 50 times already. It was just that good. And then went to Instagram, found the lead singer, told her, you snatched all my edges. Like
you went in front of who is the lead singer? Let me get there. You was really on
Lena Bird Miles. Lena ate that song.
You know what? You gotta know how to sing. If you gonna sing, You Brought the Sunshine by the Clark sisters, because what you not gonna do is play over that song. You're not gonna come in here and play singing. We're not. Nope.
And it was funny because there was, like you said, there was a bunch of people in the comments. One guy was like, I ain't been to church in years, but this makes me want to go back to church.
Hello. You not say you saved adjacent. That's all right, baby. Come on, because I'm over there with you. I'm saved adjacant. So
it was so that was amazing. It was a beautiful service. I loved everything that everybody had to say about DMX, even down to Switz getting up there and just going off on folks. Why y'all dying without wills? You need to have a will.
Okay, first of all, let's go ahead and say this.
We ain't gonna be out here divvying up property and y'all just coming out the woodworks.
Okay, listen, I'm just gonna say this. So Swizz Beatz is a Virgo. When we got something to say, it don't matter where it's at. It could be at a funeral. Like we get sick and tired of being sick and tired of something. We don't care. We could be at the pearly gates. What you're not gonna do is do this right now. Okay, that's pretty much. But he was right though, because he knew people were going to be listening with DMX. He had that impact on people where if you're saying something, like when he was telling people about accepting people for who they are, and that's what I see that video circulating. DMX has a powerful way of making people listen. And I'm glad that Swizz said that during his funeral, because Black folks, white folks, Hispanic folks was probably beating down the doors of these insurance agents that's been begging them for years. Get your insurance policy. We're not going to do no GoFundMe. We're not going to be outside selling fish plates and spaghetti dinners to bury you. Okay? Listen, because, you know, we were fish fried. Now we doing crab boils and all that other stuff. We're not doing all of that to bury you.
It's crawfish in these parts. If it's in season. You know.
That's what I'm saying. Now, if it's out of season, what are they going to sell to get you in the ground? Nothing.
Catfish.
But what the extra pizzazz? You need crawfish. You need something good to go with it. But it's like, it always takes something so impactful, something so major for us to get action to do what we need to do.
I don't know. But I'm glad, like you said, I'm glad he said it. He did it in a very tactful way, but he kind of let us know what they're dealing with, which I was like, ooh, that's tea. But my favorite, so what we're going to talk about today was, so there was a separate, probably private memorial service that, again, made it to YouTube.
How?
And I have no clue. Like people, I guess they recorded it and threw it up there. Girl, I don't know. And so I saw it circulating around where it says, his ex-wife, Tashera Simmons, it was like, oh, Tashera's a real one. She paid, she pretty much respected his current fiance and did what a real woman would do and all this other stuff. So I didn't watch the video to see what they were talking about. So I pulled it up last night, and the one I watched was a 30-minute video of Tashera going and paying her respects to DMX, Earl Simmons. And I absolutely loved it because she talked about how they met and how they met when she was 11. And it was a beautiful story. But the reason she did that was to give context to people, to let them know that this man, like, this is how he grew up, this is what he was dealing with. And she said, look, I grew up Muslim, and this man, when he came in my life as a young man and prayed with me and showed me who God was and did all these things, even as a troubled youth, she was like, I knew he was a prophet, and I knew through him who God was, despite the fact that he had all these other things going on in his life, and he was that vulnerable with me to share. So she went through their story, like how they linked up and everything. And you couldn't help but, like, I didn't even realize 25 minutes had went by as I was watching it, because it was just that good. And so at the end, when she concludes, and the next up was his fiance, Desiree Lindstrom, was supposed to come up. And so she says, y'all, just kind of give her some grace. It's her first time doing this, speaking in front of a bunch of people. She says, but real women recognize real women. And I know that Desiree, she pretty much said, Desiree loved that man. She says, so anybody that loved Earl, she says, I love you. And she gave her this big hug, and they hugged for a long time. And then Desiree took to the podium and said what she had to say about DMX, and she read it off of her phone and paid her respects. And she was just crying, and she could barely get through it. Ooh. So people were going in a rage on the internet saying it's so disrespectful that people are paying so much attention to Tashera when he had a whole ass fiance for 10 years, Desiree, and we just feel like it's wrong that people, it's almost like they're just kind of shoving her off to the side and giving Tashera all the attention. Now, I have my own opinion about this, but I'll start with you, and then I'll weigh in, because I don't see it that way. But go ahead.
First of all, she has known Earl for a majority of her life. She was married to Earl for a really long time. They have children together. She's been through the fire with this man, even though they divorced or whatever after, but the thing is, fiance does not equate to wife. You can intend to marry somebody all day, every day, but that does not, it still does not change who you are in that person's life. You could be best friends and fiance, and then when you die, they're still listed as a fiance, and she will be listed as the ex-wife. So this is what I'm saying. People are forgetting, besides her being the ex-wife and being in his life that long, she grew up with this man. And we know Tashera. That's who we know. And you know what I'm saying? We know the fiance, but she carries a little bit more of she the ex-wife. I can't even get mad at that. She's the ex-wife. Like, she been there since day one, since he was a child, since before the man put the stuff in his weed that time. You know what I'm saying? She's been there. She, like, the wife that's been, the woman, the fiance that just came around 10 years ago. 10 years ago was 2000 and what? One? No. 2011. Oh Lord, that's what I'm saying. We've been knowing we as a people feel like he's been in our life for a long time, since 96, 97.
Yep.
So therefore, she just came along in 2011.
And honestly, half of us didn't even know about her. I feel bad.
I ain't seen no announcement that DMX is engaged. I didn't see that. But I'm not gonna be no fiance for no 10 years.
But I think that, to your point, like, and like Tashera said, she's like, look, she just turned 50. She's known this man for 39 years of her life. So for people to be upset that, you know, people are looking to her to comment, or they're putting more focus and attention on her, and like you said, we've been around from the beginning, and we know he put her through some stuff.
This is what cracks me up, right? Coming from an ex-wife, okay? My ex-husband would not, if he didn't go through boot camp with me, right? He would not be the husband that he is today. So I'm never gonna sit up here and say, oh, you know, you're gonna discount. No, because I was boot camp, okay? He learned how to be a husband with me, and you got the good parts in, because I had to deal with the growing up, the non-working. I had to deal with all that stuff. I had to carry you didn't have to do the heavy lift. And this is what I tell people. Don't ever forget that someone went, you know, they may not mention it, but that lady paid her dues with that bed. I don't care what nobody says. I'm gonna give her flowers first, because girl, you got him to the point where he could love again. So I'm not saying, I think second wives or fiancés or whatever, whoever comes after the ex-wife is lucky, because there was a lot of growing that needed to be done, and he did some growing, and that's where he was able to be a fiance to this young lady who we just met a couple weeks ago.
I'm done. What? Okay, so here's the thing. So here's where I think she unintentionally like PR'd herself into just like a great status of a woman, like into like she was already a queen, but like this is like the ultimate queendom. Tashera is just because of the way she's handled the situation. She's never thrown shade to the fiance. And I think it was great that she acknowledged her, she hugged her, it seems as though they already had a relationship outside of all of this. And so I think from a PR standpoint, there's more good that comes from this than bad. Like people are actually, they already love Tashera, but I think after all of that, it takes it to a whole nother level where people want to support her no matter what. And the fiance.
Yeah, because I feel it's like this. She was able, because I see so many bitter. I'm not a bitter ex-wife. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm happy. Like I'm so happy for them.
Take them.
Yeah, I'm like, but no, it's not even that. Like when you realize that you are not someone's, like, you know, when your time is up with somebody, it's okay to let them go and let them be happy. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is, she saw that this woman made him happy. She's happy. She's in a good place. But you could tell that her and Earl were still friends. Like, so they never really, she's a real one, because most ex-wives would be up there with the stank face, and she wasn't. She wasn't upset. She just grew up with him. They outgrew each other. They knew it when the time came to end. It ended. He moved on. She moved on. But she was real about it, because at the end of the day, it was her friend.
Like you kind of expected some of our funerals. I was looking for like, okay, when's somebody about to cut up in here?
Child, where is the other mistress? Where the other children? They said he had 15. Where the other 3 that come in to make it a cool 18? Maybe another 5 that'll slide it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We never knew. But you know, some of these other families, I would have suspected there would have been a fight in the back at the repast.
Yeah. Well, big ups. I mean, I don't see anything bad about this. People tried to make it a thing. I think it's water under the bridge. I think that she is totally marketable at this point and PRable and has a very bright future. I saw that because I did a little stalking. You know, she has her own podcast and she has some things that she's working on. And so I just see it as up, and like there's going to be like this transference of support from her from DMX followers, just by the way she handled herself throughout this entire situation. So, I don't see why people are tripping. Like you said, 39 years is a long ass time. It's expect somebody to be quiet just because he has a fiance, and not, to me, I think it would have been rude the other way to not give her any type of acknowledgement when, like you said, she was the one that kind of trained him up to a certain level and then passed him off.
Hello? Because she, like, the thing is, and this is where I tell people, I hope that she's incorporating something to deal with wives, women who, had a great marriage or a rocky marriage, and helping them to get, because I don't know what she did, but she is the epitome of, this is how you get, you come out greater on the other side. It's okay to be friends with, your ex or whatever. It's okay. Like, when you divorce, it doesn't mean you out of their lives. Like, I don't even know my ex-husband you look like no more.
I've never been married, so I don't know what it's like. But
I don't remember what my ex-husband looked like. So
I've said to people all the time, I was like, I don't have any bitter exes. I can think of maybe 2, but out of all of them, I'm still cool with them. I'm still cool with their families and their sisters, and like, if they follow me on social media, they send me messages, and so like and people are like, oh, well, that's weird to me, and I'm like, no. I
didn't end on bad terms.
I didn't end on bad. Now, there was a couple that ended on bad terms because they were immature. But other than that, I mean, but I can, like, literally 2 people, and I'm 38. You know what I mean? And all the other ones, we're still cool. I followed them through their marriages, through their kids, dap them up. You're doing a great job. Like, there's just no.
At least your ex is doing something with their life. I don't got none of them.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
At least some of them. I don't even have that, girl. So I look back on my life, I'm like, girl, you have dodged some bullets.
Not all of them. Nah, we won't go there. Moving right along in other PR
speaking
news.
at their funerals. I'm just saying. No, ma'am.
Other PR news. We should have covered this a long ass time ago. We. So while we were covering the what was our last one that went? Oh, the Rachel Hollis news.
Hold up. You got your forehead and your eyebrows can't move. There you go. Okay, that's that one. How? But go ahead. Girl, creepy.
Do I look surprised?
No, you don't.
It's just the Botox. It's just, do I need to do this? It's just the Botox.
Yes, I need somebody needs to tell her to lay off the Botox.
Oh my God. So in other news, right around when we were doing the Rachel Hollis situation, we also were made aware of Jensen Karp, who is a comedian who found shrimp tails in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. So of course, Chandra and I are going back and forth. We discussed, whether it was good PR, whether Cinnamon Toast Crunch responded appropriately on their end. And it's crazy because we were going in one direction. So for those of you that don't know the story, this man, Jensen Karp, who ends up being a comedian, who we later find out is married to Topanga from Boy Meets World. That's her husband. And he found 3 shrimp tails in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal, takes a picture of it, and puts it out on Twitter that, I found shrimp in my cereal, pretty much it's gross, Cinnamon Toast Crunch then responds back that, pretty much you must be sadly mistaken. That just may be like sugar crystals that have kind of clumped together and is in your cereal, but we have all these safety measures. Can't be shrimp tails. And then Jensen goes apeshit crazy and decides that he's going to send the shrimp tails off to get a lab test done to confirm that they are in fact shrimp, because he doesn't like being gaslit by Cinnamon Toast Crunch. He knows what a shrimp tail looks like. And then you have Cinnamon Toast Crunch over here saying, well, we want to know what happened from the moment it left our factory to when it got to you. Somebody tampered with this. We're not taking blame. And that's where Chandra and I were at one point in time, was determining, like, I was saying, bad PR move on Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You never throw your customer under the bus and gaslight them. And when it's clearly shrimp tails in the picture, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're looking at a picture of it right now. If you're listening to it on the podcast, then you're just gonna have to Google it or come over.
Imagine a Cinnamon Toast Crunch crystallized shrimp tail. The
tails.
There's multiple one. But the thing is, the sad part is that first of all, he opened the door to other things in his life.
Well, I think that's the PR part, right? If you're gonna make a stink and go on Twitter and then get pissed and go on this whole tirade of you're gonna keep harassing Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which if I don't have shit in my past, I'm gonna do it because I'm gaslit and you telling me I'm crazy that they're not shrimp tails. But if you literally got a million skeletons in your closet, people coming out the woodworks, do not publicly bash a company like that on social media, get all this press, and don't think that your skeletons aren't going to come out of the closet.
Because Cinnamon Toast Crunch was like, tippity tip, 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 tip. Who is this man coming at us? And lo and behold, the internet never dies. So we have a case of cinnamon toast shrimp, and then this man who's a predator. Like, sir, you should have just went through online on the customer service thing and said, hey, I got this in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Can y'all fix it? I wouldn't have even set myself up for that, knowing I done did some things that I ain't got no business doing. And you married to Topanga of all people. So, of course, your business is on Front Street, sir.
Yeah, I know. It was just so the crazy part, I think it ended up luckily working out in Cinnamon Toast Crunch's favor. I think if he didn't have so many skeletons in his closet,
he would have been
that Cinnamon Toast Crunch's PR team would have had to work in overdrive, because you just don't gaslight your customers like that and make them out to be crazy and say, those aren't our shrimp tails. The reason why he went on the tirade that he did is because they placed the blame on him instead of saying like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Can we send you 100 boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch? We don't know how this happened, but we're sorry. If they would have did that in private, I don't think he would have went as ham as he did in public. But when he came back and said, oh, that's just like crystallized sugar.
But the thing is, though, this also is a lesson learned for Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because you should not have your social media management people responding to customer complaints. Okay. No, not in that instance, because that person, the first thing they responded with was that doesn't, was that maybe sugar or whatever. Like, no, the first thing is, please contact our customer care. Here's the direct number, because DM us the picture. Like, don't let it get that far, because I think they opened themselves up. And I was reading the back and forth, hilarious as it was.
Oh my God, I pulled some up. So my favorite from Twitter was, oh my God, where is it? I pulled them up. The person that said normalize shrimp in breakfast cereal.
But the thing is,
when it says they need to stop eating shrimp over the conveyor belt while making my favorite cereal. And then another person, he keeps posting, and then at some point he said there were black things in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal, so maybe that they thought that he was trying to allude to the fact that maybe it was rat feces in there or rat droppings. And then that's when people just went in, and they said, one guy says, well, to save their company, Cinnamon Toast Crunch needs to make cereal classy again. What better way to make it classier than to put shrimp in there?
Well, I mean, people are like, whatever. Like, he just disappeared, though.
He disappeared because women and people came out the woodwork and said, look, I dated that asshole, and he was a narcissistic bastard that told me he was surprised that I hadn't killed myself by now. So, and then there was more people coming out of the woodwork saying, why are you fighting with this asshole?
Girl, it was like, to me, when I was reading this stuff, I was like, why would you even say that to somebody? Like, sir, you know good and daggone well the people you have abused are going to see you, and once you...
No, he did not, especially when you're a narcissist, you don't think people are gonna put your shit out in front of your face like that. Like he was only thinking like, oh, I'm gonna blast them, and this is gonna be, and how dare they try to gaslight me. He wasn't thinking that ex-girlfriend from however many years ago before Topanga was gonna come out and talk about how he told her to go kill herself.
And so this is the thing, like I really need people to understand, and this is where I feel bad for her, because she didn't know she was married to somebody like this. But then again, she might, I don't know. That's not my business. But
if in fact he's a true narcissist, you don't know that you're married to one until it's too late. And that is that.
Like literally.
So my heart actually goes out to her, because they are the most terrible human beings on the face of this earth. And she's probably stuck and she's been trying to get out, but we don't know. So that's neither here.
His last tweet was March 24th.
Yeah. And the last set of press that came out was like March 26th, where they were like, and he's fallen off the face of the earth. So I think he's dropped this whole Cinnamon Toast Crunch fiasco. So we never got the lab results, which I'm kind of pissed about. I really wanted to know if the lab test came back and confirmed that the shrimp tails were in fact shrimp tails and not crystallized sugar. Even though we're smart cookies, we know that they were freaking shrimp tails.
I just think that at this point, because like
I don't think he lied about it. Like people are like, oh, he's a comedian.
But I don't think he lied about it either, but his credibility is shot because of the fact that he's a narcissistic asshole. So
in PR land, one of the things that I do before taking clients on is like, I don't run like a federal background check on you, but I kind of do my due diligence, because what I don't want to do is come up with this amazing PR campaign for you and say that you need to be in front of your brand. And then we put you in front of your brand, and then everybody comes out the woodworks and like, do you know he slapped the shit out of so-and-so back in
that happened to me. This actually, I did not do the research.
What a nightmare.
That happened to me. And that's one of the things I'm putting in the book, is that girl pitching for months, and then somebody was like, girl, call me. I was like, what's going on? Then I finally got somebody to reply back, a very well-known podcaster guy, and her added, girl, ruined it. Almost ruined my relationship, and I'm so glad it didn't, because it's like this. I didn't know. That taught me from now on, Google and ask questions. Find out why they where they are right now. Because sometimes you'll be like, you should be a lot farther. Then you realize they done slept with somebody's husband 25 years ago and couldn't keep their mouth shut.
Find out why he won't let the shrimp tail and crustacean fiasco go. Like, what is it about him? Oh, you're an asshole.
That's why. Just a mess, yo. Like,
So Google is your friend. I mean, I think, and honestly, I bet you Cinnamon Toast Crunch went back and had some internal stuff that they worked on, especially in their communications department. I don't know if they have internal communications, or if they have, I would think that they would, as big as a company as they are. It's probably through General Mills, or if they have an external PR firm. I have no idea, but I guarantee you they went back on the inside and did a whole training or cleaning house or did something, because that response, like they really skated through on that one. When if he didn't have all this stuff in his closet to distract people, they would have been on the hook for some shit.
Right. But then also other people are coming out saying about other products, other brands who who dropped the ball on keeping their quality control in check. So it's a catch-22 at this point. We would have got some really good information from Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but he had to be an asshole, so we will never know how they really turned out.
And I'm a big ID channel. Shout out to Nancy Grace. I've been like, I'm all into that investigation where I'm like,
in business.
Tell me what I want to know what the lab results say.
But the thing is, the last tweet it was, I'm waiting for the envelope.
And 1.3% plastic.
I want to know, because now I slick want to say, listen, we know you an asshole, but what they say?
Exactly. We need to shoot them a DM. So, I mean, people really need to think this thing through. I think the larger issue at hand, if we're talking about PR, is especially for larger corporations and companies, is you really have to have communications department working hand in hand with marketing.
Yep.
Because if you have someone running social media, and the cute thing these days is for people to be snarky and to have all of these cute little responses on social media, which that's fun and games when that is what is deemed engaging content and what keeps the audience engaged. But with something as serious as this, there should have been a totally different response, because this is the thing that can cost your company millions of dollars in a lawsuit.
Liable.
Because communications department and PR is not talking and coming up with the response for little social media manager over here. You know,
and that's the sad part. And because I dealt with this on a small scale. I just want to go ahead. I gotta get this off my chest real quick. This company that I did a subscription box from, mind you, I was upset about the quality of, you know what I'm talking about. I was upset about the quality of the subscription box. Like, my stuff was just thrown in a box and sent out whenever. Didn't get no tracking number, no nothing. So I had placed the outsourced.
You still don't have a book you ordered, but that's neither here nor there.
I still ain't got. Okay.
Detox juice.
So, and then on top of that, so I had ordered some product outside of my subscription box, right? I never got it. They sent me a tracking number from Tennessee that said, it was delivered. I said, this ain't Tennessee. I don't live in Tennessee. I don't even, I don't know. And then it was, well, we don't offer refunds. When I paid for this, did it say no refunds? Okay. And then it turned into, we'll give you store credit. I don't want to shop with y'all no more. Hello, this is why I don't want to shop with y'all no more, because y'all ain't had your process in order. Good thing I had USPS informed delivery telling me that the package was coming, because y'all didn't tell me nothing. Nothing was dead. My subscription box didn't come no time on a consistent basis at a certain day. I got 2 in 1 month and none in one. It was just a mess. And you expect me to use your store credit, running my coins back? See, this is what Mr. Dude on Twitter should have did. Just kept that stuff offline. Just send emails and let it be, because I don't got no skeletons in my closet, but I like to cuss people out. So I low-key got to keep my cool with that. I don't care if it's $4. It's my $4.
Well, I just think that that's something that people have to think about. They don't think about that. Like, what do I have in my closet when I'm out here acting a fool, or like putting myself out there? Even if you're doing something as simple as, I'm starting a business and I'm going to have to record videos and I'm going to have to be a part of the marketing plan. I'm going to have to put myself out there. You're going to have to think, what are the things that people are going to be able to say about me to that may compromise my character, and then try to fix those things, or work with PR and maybe your posters will say, hey, maybe it can't be you out in the forefront. We need to get you a brand ambassador or a spokesperson.
Because if you don't have your processes in place on how you handle customers who you are not treating correctly, then you got a problem, and you're going to get bad reviews on Yelp, Google, Apple Podcast, wherever you got something, they're going to leave a comment and you got to go clean that up.
Well, he just let it go, because he was like, I can't stop the flood now. And of course, everybody picked it up, like the New York Post, everybody picked it up. I got my PR petty feels from all of it. And I mean, it is what it is.
The thing is that the skeleton closet saved them. That's bottom line. So y'all got it. Y'all had that one.
But other than that, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, epic fail on your part in the way you responded. Gaslighting your customer is never the way to go. And then not having it together where there's a plan or somebody for the social media manager to go to when there's a customer complaint as serious as I found shrimp tail. You don't know, that person could have had a shellfish allergy.
Girl, it could have died.
It could have died. Like, it's that serious.
I mean, I would have still bought the cereal, but I'm just saying, I'm sorry, rest in peace, but Y'all need to do better. Y'all better pay for them fumes and them children's education better. That's a whole different thing.
So it was a much more serious situation. So you've got to have internal processes in place. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I wish I had a fun pun to throw in there, you know, like they really skated by the seat of their tail or something like that. Like, you know, something cute.
They ain't nothing cute about almost killing somebody.
Okay, I can't make it cute. Why are we talking? We're talking about death and funerals and people with shellfish allergies. So
I mean, but it's a legitimate thing to think about because, you know, like, come on, y'all.
It's food safety. It's food safety. You have to think about it. So, and then on this guy's end, he should have just he should have checked his closet before he decided he was gonna just come out and try to put people on Front Street. Now his ass is blasted.
He's still got his blue check though.
Yes. So I mean that's our cases to discuss today. I want you guys to stay tuned because we still have so much to discuss. We have Khloe Kardashian. I'm sorry.
Which
I
face?
still want to discuss that. Her changing her photo.
Which face?
The face from April, blah, 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 2021. That one.
Okay, good. I've seen it now.
The funny thing was, and we're not even going to talk about this tonight, but when she did that whole change in the photo, take the photo down, it wasn't a good representation of me. Like, literally, when all that ended and I got off of my phone, off of Instagram, and I was on my TV, the ad came up for whatever new commercial she was in, and it did not look like her at all. Like,
who this woman?
Catfish Central. I was like,
this woman.
I was like, man, Big Brother is petty. You know how when they know what you're looking at on the internet and they just send you stuff. So when YouTube did that commercial, I was like, YouTube is petty. YouTube is hella petty to send me this Khloe Kardashian commercial knowing I was just stalking her on social media and watching everybody rip her new one.
And kikiing at the same time.
She doesn't want her real body on the internet. And then YouTube was like, I'll show her ass. They sent me the commercial and it was like,
this her.
This is not you. This don't even look like you.
YouTube is petty.
Exactly. I was like, YouTube, you ain't shit. You ain't shit.
But the thing is, though, I will say this. We got to wait because I got a lot to say about that.
So we're gonna cover that. We're definitely gonna cover the Khloe Kardashian situation. Here's just what we're coming up for y'all. And then Lil Nas X has done some stuff on Twitter that I want to address. That I think he's the ultimate marketing genius. We'll leave it at that. If you don't know why we're saying, you gotta listen to our prior Lil Nas X episode about his Montero video. And then we're also going to talk about Meg Thee Stallion. She's on a recent hiatus. Is that a PR stunt, PR fail, or PR success? We have our opinions on that. So you guys are just going to have to stay tuned. Continue to send me those hot topics in the news. This is like y'all's favorite thing in the segment. And I'm like, I'm bringing on great guests as like the regular part of the show. But you guys just like the PR roundtable. Oh, I am bringing someone new as a guest into the PR roundtable. Whenever he's available, because this man gives no fucks. Like,
who is he? I don't even know.
He goes off. So hopefully we're gonna be able to get Ed Zeitrin to the PR roundtable.
Oh, he was on your podcast.
He was on my podcast. We actually just recorded, and we're going to record that episode in the next couple weeks. And I tell y'all, it's lit. It's so lit.
The clips you posted have been great.
And he loves to talk about where people go wrong in PR land. And so I think, just having some testosterone,
a little bit, boost.
And he's very colorful and animated. I think you guys are gonna love him.
Oh.
We're gonna be welcoming him whenever he can make it to the PR roundtable of our current event. So feel free to email me, leah@think3media.com, or you can go to pryourself.leahfrazier.com and send me a message through our contact form like some of you guys have been doing. So before we head out, Chandra, what else do you want to sound off with? Any shout outs you want to kick? Any last
shout out to Conscious Kingdom. And I keep getting, it's a girl in UK that she does the head wraps and the mask. This has been my lifesaver. Hold up, from the neck, from the waist up. But
make sure you're Zoom appropriate.
Yeah, and I love the fact that I gotta shout out Erica Alcox. I'm comfortable now in coming on here to talk about things. I'm actually comfortable being seen now. Because for a minute, whoo, girl, after we did the first ones and I saw the response, I was like, oh my gosh, it was one of those things where you want to be behind the scenes, but you got to talk about stuff and, share your opinion. And I got to thank you so much for allowing me on your platform. But girl, you had me do some self-reflecting. I'm like, I'm okay. I'm settled in being seen. My voice is being heard. Because normally, I'm in the cut.
If you go in the comments, all the funny stuff you say, like that's what they don't give a shit about me. They're like, oh, her eyebrows don't move. And I was like, oh, that's Chandra's comment. That's why I always screenshot you and I send it to you because I'm like, it's
that's hard for me. And I'm glad that I'm able to accept this and I love it because I get my opinion.
I've had news producers texting me like, oh, I love y'all's take on the Lil Nas X episode, or I love this or that. So it's people in media praising the content. And so I think it's so much fun. And I love our little roundtable. Like, we're the OGs of the PR Yourself roundtable. No one will ever replace us. So
I love it. And I thank you.
I love how sometimes we have different opinions. Sometimes we agree, but people like to see the take on it. And so thank you guys always for tuning in. My little shout out. So these earrings are Julie McCullough. She's local here in Dallas. And they're just so cute. They're like little polka dots and the little gold.
That is cute.
They just got personality. I like stuff with personality, like my glasses, Tom Ford.
See?
And I got my little head wrap on, but mine's not as special as yours, Chandra, because I just got it from the beauty supply store. So
wait, how much was it?
Huh?
How much was it?
It was like $5.99.
Okay, because somebody online selling the same thing for $25, but we're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, exactly. That's neither here nor there.
Because I'm not gonna hit your beauty supply store. I love that though. You're such a fashion.
They have different colors and everything.
That's so cute.
I'm going into my queendom. Like,
yes, we helmets of salvation. Amen.
Real, our helmets of salvation, but on an African standpoint.
Yes.
So, anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be back with more PR petty news on PR Yourself with LeahFrazier.com. Stay tuned. Share this out. You guys know what to do. Subscribe, rate and review. I see some of the ratings and reviews coming in, but I need you guys to do better, because when you rate and you review and you do all that jazz, it shoots us up the charts, and then we can bring on more amazing guests to inspire you, or for you to just be petty yourselves and listen to us go back and forth and talk shit about other people. So it's whatever you want, but subscribe, rate, review, share. That is the equation. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time.